There we go. Everything's set up now. Don't worry, I might know what I'm doing. Slim possibility, but it's still there. So it's been a while since I've shown anything that's going on with the nonsense that I'm up to. So let me run through some of this, show you what's been happening, just as a little update before I move on. I'll probably forget which one's up. There we go. So last time we were still in the Nether making chunk loaders. So since then, we were way down there somewhere. We've now made it up here, and then we branched off from there, and we had to put 3 more chunk loaders. And now the mail system is hooked up to where the whole project is actually taking place. Let's fly on back up. Oh, I guess I could explain how this kind of works for those who don't know. Um, so basically, um, we'll start for incoming stuff since we're already down here. So stuff will come through the portal, follow this track, come down, go up, hit a cactus. The contents will go into the hopper. Well, first, the contents of the hopper minecart or minecart chest will go into that hopper, into this, yeah, dropper. And it'll go up the water line, and I'll show you where that goes in a sec. And the cart will hit the cactus, drop in that hopper, and then get reloaded into the system. Then this is just extra iron and chests, and it'll just, if you send out more than you receive, it'll craft up, mine carts with chests. So you don't have to rely on someone sending you stuff. It can make its own. And then mail will come down this line, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like up top. It'll fall down here into this hopper, which will then activate, the redstone going on in the back. A minecart chest will pop out on this rail. The contents will fall into it, and then away it goes into the nether. It'll follow these lines until eventually it gets to a junction, come out here, go on until it finds another junction like this with the for the appropriate destination. This one being for MegaMineMart, because I couldn't think of a better name for the weird system store thing that I'm making. But I can kind of show you how it works. So you'll each minecart, one of the things they'll have is piece of paper that says the name of the destination, which then the hopper outside that the tunnel for the destination will pick up. It'll activate some redstone that's going on right down here, which will then power this torch, turning this one off. This little bit of railing will switch. This hopper will pick up uh, paper that shouldn't be in here. This hopper will pick up the shulker that's inside the minecart. This will break the minecart, putting it into this dispenser, which will dispense it out, put the shulker box back into it, and then send it into the portal. And then I've already explained how this side kind of works. So mail goes up the water and it comes down the empty one, but obviously it's easier to travel the opposite way. So let me go ahead and break out. And then up here, kind of hard to see what's going on. So the package will, there it is. So the package comes up here, the shulker goes over, drops through these hoppers, and then it'll drop into this dispenser. Yeah. Which will then activate this line, which will spit it out here, which will then empty the shulker. And then when it's empty, this piston will crush it, putting it in here as well. And then it drops into this water line and then goes through here. So these first multiple sorters, the first, right now there's 80, and they're all set up for different destinations. So these 80 will pick up the piece of paper with a destination name in it that will be inside the shulker saying who ordered the items. It'll then just drop the piece of paper straight back into these line of hoppers at the very bottom, which will then put it into this dropper, which will put it into this line, which comes over, spits back up, and into, should be a dropper, yeah, into that dropper, which then primes it so that um, it knows where the order is going. So then after it picks up that, the other piece of paper, which is the order, which has what the person wants, will come through, pass along. I haven't finished that part yet, but it'll go through the rest of the um, item sorters, activating droppers to spit out what the person wanted. Those items will then go through a water line similar to what's at the top of the sorters until they get to here. So then the items will come up here and over into this hopper and into this barrel and that hopper and all of that. I kind of show what that does. So let me grab a few things so I can kind of show what happens. First, I need to block that because I don't want this stuff actually going into the nether part of the system. I'll need a piece of paper. Past it. There's a blank piece of paper will work. Not there. I can put the piece of paper. Actually, you know what? I can kind of show what happens when it gets an address. So none of them are set up right now, so I'll just pop it. So what would happen is the piece of paper would get picked up by one of them that has mangrove signs above it. It would drop into this chest, which will then drop it into the hopper. And I'll start just to give us time to kind of see what's going on. It'll drop in the chest into the hopper, and it'll follow this line of hoppers all the way down until it gets over here. It'll take it a second because it is far, it's going through a lot of hoppers. See, and then it spits it out. It'll come up this line. Did I paste it or did it get here before me? Anyways, it comes over into these hoppers and it already beat us. So that's how that part works. And then let me put a block there. And now let me grab that in a water bucket, and I'll show you how the rest of it kind of functions. So the easiest way is if I spam a bunch of those, which then picks it up, which shulker box was placed, and as long as these planks are getting fed in there, From that hopper, they'll go into this hopper, and as long as there's one in that hopper, all this redstone's activated. But we'll just wait for show you what happens as soon as that stops. It crushes that shulker, which then comes down here, gets placed, gets crushed, and then it all gets sent down to the system. Just to show you that I'm not lying, see, there's our 64 oak planks. It's kind of hard to show because I mean I didn't build it very well for like show and tell. I didn't consider using so much glass until after I did the the shulker loader, the shulker unloader, and I guess that'd just be part of the mail system technically. Um, so there probably could be more glass to get better views of it, but I don't really want to redo it in order to see stuff because then I would have to replace the redstone, and if I forget how something worked, I might end up breaking it. Because as far as the loader and the unloader, those are my first time figuring out how to do those. I watched a couple tutorials to see how people have done them themselves. That the loader is completely me just kind of doing my own thing. And this one kind of followed a tutorial part way, but with that one you had to have a button and manually like hit the button to activate it. So I put a comparator, made this line with some observers so that it's fully automated. And because that's kind of the whole point of this system is that anyone throughout the world, as long as they have a mailbox, can send a request to MegaMineMart and then it'll get filled automatically. Sorry about my voice. But got a little hoarse there. But let me get a drink. Throat's way drier than what it should be. Yeah. But anyways, it in a way it's kind of like a fully automated Amazon within Minecraft. That's kind of the goal. So there will be mailboxes that can be built at people's bases. Those mailboxes, they'll get a shulker and they can fill the shulker with, they'll need to put, I still need to figure out how I'm going to do this part. Put one diamond in, one diamond block will be, which will be like the payment. And then they'll need to put one piece of paper that's renamed to their base's name. And then the rest of the slots can be whatever they want. And then the system will fill one stack of any of those items that they want, take the diamond block as payment, and then the name will be used to resend the package back through the mail to them. And then there'll be automated farms to fill the system. So obviously I might put stuff in it that you can't normally get. Like I might put some netherite swords in the storage system to start, and then, if the system runs out, then it runs out. Or I might make the system only stuff that you can make an automated farm for, which I'm also thinking of doing it that way. So obviously that would mean you can't order diamonds, but you'd be able to order, like a stack of wood. Did something just spawn inside my water stream? It did. Bro, why are you spawning in my water stream? Who said this was okay? I didn't even know mobs could do that. It might be because it's from a mod pack. That might be why. I don't know if that makes a difference, but that's. Ooh, it gave me fish. I hadn't killed one yet. I didn't know they did that. Um, yeah, lots of redstone and such. But the main thing, obviously, it's not the most exciting thing to watch me build because it's just the same thing. All I'm really doing is making this little thing here over and over again because this is the item sorter. So under this would be, you put the chest here, and then from that you can just extend it to a double chest and just hopper and double chest all the way down as much storage as it wants. But I'll probably make this, easier on me by building it once. I'll probably use a structure block and then I can just copy paste, you know, to however far I need that to go. But I'm trying to figure out the layout because this is where the items from the shulker will be. So I could then have it drop down to hit the droppers that'll dispense the actual items. But I should probably figure that out first because that'll tell me how. Because I mean the actual sorting system can be, about this tight. I could probably have made it, not left that block gap, but I went ahead and left it anyways, just because it kind of gives, I kind of drop down and get under it easier if I leave it segmented. And of course, it's missing here because since it uses water streams, the water can only travel so far until it needs an ice block or a block of packed ice to move it to the next stream. So that's why that one's there. But this longer one it's just kind of for me. That's just for me to get in between stuff. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and make a single uh, piece and work on how the dropper will work, or make one segment and then figure out how the dropper will function. So I think I'll start with something I can see easy. Where's something? Andesite's pretty segmented. You can see each block pretty easily. Um, Grab my redstone, torch, repeater. Need hoppers, chest, and that should be good for now. That's over there. Should be able to build right here. I'll build up in the air. And I'll kind of put that there, or that way I can actually see it. That'll be just kind of a block in case I need to be able to see better what I'm doing. It does go in the lab block, right? Yeah. That's the only thing I ever forget on this is which way that repeater needs to go. I'm like, that's to go into it if I remember right. Which there. This will be go into that one. That there. Break that. Go ahead and extend this down as far as what I'm gonna do. Break that. I want to try to keep this as compact as possible. What I'll do, put that there. I put that feeding into it. You can kind of see how this goes. You know, you can just infinitely put chest and hoppers all the way, as far as you want. That's kind of why, I feel like it's pretty simple, design. Got your item sorter on the top, which let me, what am I using? I didn't really need to do that. Everything's gonna be down here. I don't know why I took the time to mess with that. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna make the chain pretty long just to make sure I give myself enough room. So in a way, this is kind of pointless because I'll be tearing this down, but I want to make sure this is probably about what I'll have for each one. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put one more double chest. That's probably how much storage we'll have for each thing. I think six chests will be six double chests should be pretty good. Even for a large server, if a lot of people are using this, I think six double chests of every that's per item, so that should be fine. Um, okay. So after I have that, I'll want a hopper there, and I'll need not a dispenser, I'll need a dropper. Use a dispenser, some things will get messy. And now what it will do, I fell. There'll be a water stream going through this way. They'll be going past, so things will pop out and then get carried off. So now I just need to figure out, I needed to recognize that a request was made. It'll then dispense one stack, which will be easier for will be easier for non-stacking items because it just means it'll activate once and spit it out. So I need a timer that'll last as long as it takes for it to spit out 64 items, which I'll probably look up because I don't think I've never really messed with timers or anything, but I'll stick that there. That's good enough, right? Yep, that works. Okay, so now I need to make a clock system. I'm also trying to think, can droppers... Well, I can make the end of the... Because after I needed to also be able to expel the piece of paper that activated it. Let me think for a sec. Or actually, it'd be easier. Let me YouTube this. YouTube some ideas real quick. Um, okay, I knew it had something to do with two hoppers looking at each other. So give me a second, I'm gonna watch these. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. We'll use I figured that Etho I figured an Etho clock would work with this. Um, Let me go ahead and build one over here a bit. Just so I can have it on hand for reference. So what I want is for one to go in that way. Why did I do that? You know what? I can probably just build on the ice. Put one there. Let me go down, stop flying. Put that there. Block there, block there. Boom, boom. You're going out. I did this wrong. I need an extra block for the redstone, don't I? That's why I messed up. Nope. There. And then I put these. Then I need this and this. And let's test this with not that much. Which side does it have to go into? Okay. But that's continuous. That means it would always be going. So let me think. Okay. What if I got rid of that one? Okay. So that didn't work. How can I modify this to make it work in the way that I need it to work? What happens if that's there? Just locks it. And then when it goes away, basically becomes broke. So I need to figure out a way to turn this on and off, which might be as simple as that's not how that gets powered. Need it there, which would lock it. Am I thinking about this wrong? There's a way to. I also don't want it to be on this side. So I would want this side to turn off, and then it would get powered. Okay, now I need. Now I do. There you go. Now I do need more. order to see if my theory's correct. So now it should hold it there for the entire duration, if I'm not mistaken. And then it will move back, but then it'll lock. Yep, and now it's all going back. Ooh, but this still... No, this should be fine. Because then if I set up to a... Maybe if I set it up to a bulb, whatever comes back... Yeah, that might work. Then I want a copper bulb. Let's see if this works the way I think it will. Nope, had it backwards. There we go. And then as far as this one, we'll have another dropper, which the orientation won't really matter for now. I'll go ahead and put 2 pieces of redstone in it. And then it'll get activated. And that caused it to go. Ooh, but I need to be able to... Because if there's 2 in there... Wait, did it spit out both? Ah, it did spit out both. Why did it do that? It should only have the... It should have only observed 1 change. Yeah. So let me wait till it goes back. Or I'll have to wait for it to go back and go ahead and lock it. So go ahead and put those in there. And what I need is, I'm probably clean this up later. I put that into there. What I want is for it to normally, yeah, normally I want it to be on. Then I'll just kind of put these periodically. Blocks, just and then But here, nope, wrong way. Oh, right. I forgot the comparator will be really weak. What I need is I will need a hopper coming or a repeater coming right out of it. There we go. So when I moved over, it spit one out, and now it should run through its cycle. And then spit it back. But that's going to lock it, isn't it? So it will automatically spit twice. So as soon as it moves, it turns off. Right? Oh, that's what's picking up. The little red light that goes away, it distinguishes between on and powered and on. Okay. And then when it turns off, so it's making a distinction between if it's powered or not just if it turns on and off. Okay, so that means all right, I think I can figure that one out because if I have it that way, and when it hits there, I get rid of that. Instead, let me try this. So it moved over and it spit one out. I'm sorry, this is the most exciting thing, but I'm learning redstone. Then it goes back, but it's still powered. So once it cycles through, it should come back again, spitting it out again. The troubling part is going to figure out how to make this fit into a system as tight as that. Yep, and it's about second one, and it'll go through the cycle again. Okay, so now I have something that works, and I just need to figure out how to make it work within the system that I have. See, and then it's off. So now, how do I condense this So it can be as tall as it wants to be. It can be as long as it wants to be, but it can only be 1 block wide. I don't know if I can actually do that. Okay, so I have the clock. I mean, nothing actually says that it has to be a certain way. I mean, I could have this part of it be super messy because I can't put this wherever so long as this input will travel to this dropper. That's the only real requirement that I have. So, I mean, that could be. I do want to see how much I can condense this down, though. This part of it is pretty well stuck the way it is. But as far as here, that still powers it, right? Yeah, okay, thought so. So now I need to have compare. Oh, you have the comparator there, a repeater coming out of it. Right, they'll still new. That worked. Okay, let me grab. Oh, that's bottom slab. Wait, why am I not using this side? Oh, because it plugs into that. Um, you know what? It'd probably be easier if that just faces this way. Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And that goes there. That goes there. That's plugged in there. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting it condensed down. So it's condensed down to there. Let me see. Does it travel? Doesn't travel. Okay. I'll throw a target block. I don't mess with target blocks a lot, but nope. Okay. What if I put a torch on top? Hmm. Okay, what if I have a torch here? Test it out, I need to put it here. Doesn't do anything to it. Okay. Need to rack my brain for all my redstone knowledge. Have a torch there. It should be able to put a signal to this, right? No. What if I have... Okay. Redstone. Currently 4 wide. Trying to figure out how can I condense this? I could set it up at different intervals. So it's 3 tall. So I could try doing that. It'll look a little, it'll be pretty janky. I could. Is I could do it that way. So that'll send the signal it needs. The hopper will collect it. Each one will be at a different elevation. So it'll be kind of like a stepping stone look to it. And I'm doing it that way. Then I'll have to put that on that side. And on each level, I could make 2 that are facing each other. Put this kind of as a... So what I'm trying to do is figure out how to get rid of the paper out of the system once it's done. So it'll spit out, and these 2 blocks of air that's in between will have flowing lava. So the paper will just, fly into the lava and get destroyed. which I can't. I don't think the lava has to actually be flowing. I mean, I have the space, so it doesn't really matter. So that takes care of 2. But then there's still, each segment will need 8. And that's a little bit more of a problem, because the hopper will have to carry down to each dropper. And I can't get too crazy with how that works. But I do have a design that does what I want it to do. It's just it's a lot wider than what I would like. I'm also thinking could have it just throw out the back. Yeah, but if I'm doing the different levels idea, and that kind of works with it too. Because that only extends about 1 block. And I don't have to have anything there. I mean, it's pretty compact. Oh, wait. That's what it would look like. And that would just be containing 1. Now let me see if that actually works. I don't know why I was thinking it had to be like flowing lava to actually burn stuff. It's gonna be paper, so I better test it with the material that I'm gonna have. Yep, paper's gone. So that asserts that. Wait, we have, well, I mean, it's still gonna take up a block. It just looks like it doesn't. I was gonna use shelves, but I'm like, that doesn't actually fix what I'm working with. I mean, if I do it like this, I still need to make sure there's a clean line for the hopper. Is that the hopper collects and it's going to drop down into this. I guess I could use some water lines to make sure it gets to where it's supposed to go. I might be able to do that. It's gonna add some more redstone and more droppers, but that might be doable. definitely gonna make the system messy. I think I have a decent idea. So this section is made for sorting and deciding where mail needs to go. And the next section needs to be it needs to be able to know what's needed. That should work out pretty well. So lead down there. And then from that repeater on the back, we'll lead to this repeater. And then pops out the item. However, I want to wire that repeater is where it's going to get tricky. Because this all fits nice and tight. And this one's a bit wider. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wide. Am I sure I can't condense it down a bit more? And can I put it this? Wrong one. That worked the way. No. Let me wait. So now it just needs a way for it to then undo all that. 'Cause I can't set. No, yeah, that was right. Oh, that's the other thing. I keep assuming that things have to be facing a certain way when they don't. I can have, there's nothing wrong with the dropper facing down. I think would allow this to work. Maybe. Let me see if this works. So now it's locked. And what's good about this is this line can literally just connect onto there. So I just have to connect the repeater to this redstone line. And then if I put this there, that would be where my input would go. And does it look pretty? Absolutely not. But does it work? It appears to. So now do that. It goes ahead and spits one. It's going to run a cycle. And it finishes a cycle. Oh, but then it but then it spits it out. What if I can't put comparator there though, because that's going to cause it to spit out when it stops too. Wait, what if instead of a bulb I use a redstone lamp? That should do it. I forgot about redstone lamps. You have to excuse me. So there it goes. But now when it turns off, it's gonna activate it again. Yeah. So it runs into the same problem. If it gets powered, does it disperse the power at all? Oh, it's not going to do it because there's nothing in it. Is there a way to use this so that whenever it moves, because I only wanted to do it the one time. Okay, so if I have a comparator coming out of it, that works. Let me think. So if I have a comparator come out of the block, I mean, is there any reason? No, because that's not going to work, is it? Nope. I know if it activates here, I can't put it on the piston because it'll just break when it moves. How do target blocks work? Come on. I should have no idea how target blocks work. Wait, can I use a note block? So if that makes a noise when it comes back, this could work. I could use a calibrated skulk sensor. Then if I have a no, because that then if any any nearby do that, that doesn't work either. Let me see. What redstone stuff do we have? Does a daylight detector? I don't think that would help. Wait, what about? Nope, redstone ore doesn't carry power. So I need a way of transferring power directly up. Oh, why didn't I think about that sooner? I take this and I already have a block that I can use. Take this. I think I can do this. Yep, put that there. That here. Into it. I think this works. When that block pops up, I think it should carry the line over. This has been a lot of thinking. But I think I got it. So I've got this down. So now I just need to figure out how to wire it into that. Now, let me see something. Something was entered. Wait, why is that still extended? Wait, what if I use a gravity block? Yeah, what if I use a normal piston and a gravity block? That might be where I messed up. Um, with gravel. This worked earlier. Now why is it doing this? Okay, so I'll bring it up one. Now I have a problem here. Wait, where the other? Okay, it goes. Okay, I should be able to put an observer there. I think. Oh, wrong way. And then actually get the whole thing reset, and then I'll mess with it. Everything's reset. We got two in there. Okay. I think gravity block's probably how I'm gonna do the next one. Yeah, because that would interfere with it. And then that would lead into the dispenser up there. Wait, can it push that much? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it can push 5 blocks. Oh crap, that keeps it powered. So that's an easy fix because all I need to do is then have this one mostly done. It doesn't send it up though. Okay. So now I just need to figure out how to power, how to get the signal up. Because the timer works great. So now I just need the signal to go up to another hopper. Or I could have it go forward. So let's say put the 6 up there. Actually, get rid of this there. But then how will come down and over. Yeah, that'll be fine. Down, over. I'll cover up the water line though. I mean, that shouldn't be, I don't think that would cause an issue. Oh well, let's see if it works. We'll use, right. That was, yeah, no, that's my fault. Yeah, that was only gonna shoot once. But the start, let me think on this. So the hoppers have to get to there on the front. So I don't want to really obscure that. There's something I'm missing. There has to be. There has to be a way that there has to be something I'm missing. Um, Let me place a couple hoppers so I don't forget. That's where it's going to feed in at. Piece of paper will go in, starts a timer, does that, and I'll spit it out. Now, how do I wire this to that dropper? Hmm, well, that spits it out. Let me see something. I might be able to use the other side because I've been so focused on that side. Okay, so I have the light. No, 'cause see, that keeps it on. Yeah, that it never actually turned off. Okay. Um, Let me think. Think. I solved one problem. Now I just need to wire in to another dropper without getting any wider. Gosh, this is a trickier problem than I thought it would be. Just trying to figure it out. And I'm thinking harder than I feel like I need to. I feel like it's a really simple solution that I am just completely overlooking. Could I use an observer to detect when the gravel goes up against it? That would send the signal up. And then whenever it fell, it would do another signal. Let me see. This this might be it. I might have I might be thinking. I might be thinking. My brain might be working correctly. Guess I put that there. And then I need a sticky piston. Probably have face this way. Yeah, that'd probably work out better. And then put one here and one there. Where's a Did I do it? Did I do it? Now let's see if it actually pulls the observer back. If it doesn't pull the observer back, then we have an issue. It pulled the observer back. I think it's fixed. I think this crazy monstrosity might actually work. No, it won't. I just realized problems with it. Because it has redstone, can I switch those out for repeaters? Does that... I don't think that would work if I switched out for repeaters. Those... The redstone lines cause the issues. But that that might not be an issue. It would just mean I would have to go back to my idea of staggering them. So when it came to this level, they would end up staggered. So one would have like a line of, say, like 20 hoppers, but the one next to it would have a line of like maybe 25, followed by another of 20, then 25, and then like 20. That that might fix it. That might work. It would just have to be staggered enough. I would just need to be able to, on the shorter lines, be able to get this, which I could just do a bunch of either something as simple as this again, which might be the way to do it. Yeah, because that's just gonna plug right in. And then for the one staggered, now I don't know if staggering it's gonna fix that problem. How offset would it have? It only have to be like, what, one would have to be, it would have to be just low enough that none of the redstone would interact with each other, which, what, maybe 3 blocks? There'd have to be like a 3 block difference between ones directly next to each other, if I'm not mistaken. I also think I want that turned around so it's facing this way. I should probably do that now while I'm thinking about it. That'll come up, activate that, which causes a sporadic signal, which will mean it'll keep dropping items. So now, I guess I could just put a dropper there so I know what I'm doing. That's where that's going to be. So it means the hoppers will still be running right up in front of it, unless I just add a couple hoppers to give myself freedom of movement. That'll cause a little bit of a gap in case I need to get in between. Now I just need to figure out how to place them next to each other. Let's see how many of these I can turn into repeaters. I can turn that one to a repeater. I don't think I can do a whole lot about that. So let's see. Probably have to be there. Means go there. Well, let's see if any of that redstone. I put redstone on these. Does any of it interact? I mean, it doesn't look like it. So that might be, yeah, just drop it 2 blocks. Oh, that looks like it's going to do something. But what? Oh, crap! I broke it. Can I do that? Oh wait, can I turn all of them into repeaters? I cannot. Okay. Then that one's a repeater. So as long as it's 2 blocks lower, it looks like it'll be fine. Oops. There. And the next one just has to be 2 lower. Which, yeah, that should all work out. But how will I need to still have a tie-in at the same level there? So when the gravel comes up, the end, I still need a dispenser there. Where's something I use as a gravel stand-in? I will use wool. Use this as the stand-in. So we'll come up. We'll cause this to go all clickety clack, which Have that facing there. Have another one facing there. Okay, that should do it. I thought I was gonna make more progress than this. I did not expect this to take that long, take as long as it has. But I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it just needs that little bit of offset. Just to kind of check to see if this works, and then, yep, and then it brings her right back down. Good. Where's the redstone loop? Okay. Yeah, that'll work great. Or I don't know. There might be a better design, but I think uh that was hard. That used all of my that used all of my thinking capacity. I'm not even I don't that was a tough one. It was a toughie. Let's see. Do I want to keep streaming? How long has this been? This has been almost 2 hours. So I think I will end it there. I think that's not a whole lot was done, but at the same time a lot was done. I mean, I figured out how to make a timer that's activated by that having something in it while also dispensing it once it's activated, and then also sending a signal up to another dropper to actually dispense a certain. I still need to. I'll have to work out the actual timer to make sure it dispenses enough because I want it to dispense 64 items. Oh crap! For non-stackable items, I'm gonna have to. Well, for non-stackable items, it'll be easier because it'll just be there, detect, send a single impulse, and then it should be fine. The only reason this one needed a timer was because it's going to dispense 64 items, which also means I'm going to have to alter this for items that don't do stacks of 64. Like Ender Pearls only do stacks of 16. So for that one, well, that one I just have to edit the timer. I just has the timer just won't. It just needs a shorter timer. So that's not bad. This might have been the last component I needed to figure out to make this whole thing work. Because the storage system, I've already done that before. I'm just doing. I mean, that's a sorting system right there. That's that's literally it. That right there. That's the storage system, just repeated many, many times. And with this under it, it'll then be able to dispense the requests. So with that being said, I think I will end things there. Thank you for watching the stream or the VOD, whichever one you caught, and I hope you have a fantastic day.